God damn it. All right. I don't get it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right, all right. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the live Neve show, the ever changing, ever popular, ever glorious, and wonderful show. That's right. Happy Friday, people. And look here, I'm wearing a shirt, the Highlands Horrors Film Fest. That'll be coming up. I believe it comes in October, but I think they have an event maybe in the spring, which is kind of here. Summer's here, I guess. So, great shirt. Steve Solop design and our master of ceremonies with the Horror Fest is has good taste. What can I tell you? They'll have great movies. They always do. So let's take a look at what today's news. The first article that catches my interest is apparently they are using a medieval siege weapon to fling weapons into Lebanon. Actually, they're flinging fireballs, to be correct. I've always had the urge to build a medieval siege engine. I had the idea to build one in my yard in Florida and make it out of two by fours glued together. Make about a 20-foot one with about 1,800 pounds of weight on one end. The way it works, you crank it back and then poof. And my plan was to put an old wrecked car out in the middle of the field and we would launch used washing machines at it. Now that sounds like the ultimate in guy fun, but add fire to it and look at what you got. All kinds of fun. The reason ostensibly they're doing this is they're actually clearing brush by burning a little fire so that people can't sneak up and shoot them, uh, which is not a good thing. So we have another Supreme Court justice has not disclosed three more gift trips. You know, I don't condone it, but let's see the proof. And even so, these guys are hired for life, man. As they say, elections have consequences. It's kind of a bummer for somebody who doesn't like it, but it'll always work itself out. The Americans will kick it back and forth, and something new will come out of it. Whether it's good or not waits to be seen. Says the super rich may quit labor plans over inheritance trusts, taxes on trusts in jolly old England. Our former owners, they had the deed and the title, and they're not doing too good politically. They've got a mess. I see somebody's commenting here already. Good morning, everyone. Who we got here? Susan Fine. Good morning to you, Sue. How are you, babe? Happy Friday. I know your husband's going to, Eugene's going to get some dental work and stuff. I hope it all turns out good. I know he's got a tough day, and my heart's with you guys. So I'm going through the news here, and we have a story that's kind of interesting if you smoke weed. Uh, the dirty secret of California's legal weed, excuse me. Aging yuppies in neon beachwear stand before a green wall with the catchphrase, "You have changed. So has cannabis." Yes, it has. It's the good shit nowadays. The social media post is part of a Real California Cannabis, a $5 million tax-funded program to promote cannabis as safe, tested, and regulated by the state to protect consumers. In reality, that is far from certain. As is usual, when we trust the government to do anything, they can find some way to kind of screw it up. I mean, I've seen some of the dumbest people on earth selling weed and they make a living then all kinds of money, hot chicks, fast cars. Anyhow, They're saying that there's alarming levels of pesticides in cannabis products, mostly in brands of vapes and pre-rolls. So if you like the pre-rolls, people, got to watch it. I don't know where it's sourced here in New Jersey, and I know that they tell us it's good, but I hope you have a good dealer who makes sure you don't have that kind of shit. I actually trust the guy on the street more than I trust the state to do it because every time they do something, remember they have to do it on a bid basis, so they go for the lowest bid, which is not always the best bid, as you know. Closeness only matters in handball and hand grenades. So, oh, I've got to tell you, Moose and Pants have become not best buddies yet by far, but they are. He's tolerating her. Excuse me. She, Pants, my older cat, is tolerating a little juvenile very well. And while we're talking here, I'll go ahead and put up the obligatory Father's Day photos of. It is Father's Day, by the way, everybody. I hope you guys have all got a great dad. And here is my little animal. There he is. There's Moose Martin, or whatever we call him. So that's Moose playing. And thank you to my daughter Talia for the lovely cat treats for Moose. And he is enjoying them. We got a little gun that shoots little puffballs and cat joy around the room. So, in getting back to the news, we'll see if there's anything really important here. Trump's 78. Will he outlive Joe? I gotta say, I would imagine. Just looking at him, I'm going to leave it at that. Don't get all politically upset. It's just a fact, a statement of fact. He looks a little more hale and hearty. Alito did not disclose three more gift trips. Record share of electorate is pro-choice and voting on it. Well, it's kind of stupid. If you're a Republican, even if you want to like completely turn off half of the country, make all abortion illegal like you've been doing. It's not a good idea. It's a necessary evil, unfortunately. I don't think it's something to be jumping around with joy about, but sometimes things happen, and I always say to you, if it's your kid and it happens, how are you going to feel about it? So remember, shit happens, people. Don't be that person who just has no soul and doesn't agree for reasonable time periods and things like that. Anyhow, teams with Ticketmaster to spread the gospel. Could Ticketmaster suck any more than having a bunch of fucking Bible thumpers haranguing you for money? Come on, seriously, guys. I'm not against religion or Christians or Catholics or anybody else. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of annoyed with the Catholics. They have that child molestation problem that just kind of turns me off. I don't know why, but the disappearing Tucker Carlson and the rise of California's homeless vanlords. And a new twist on capitalism. People are renting vans on Craigslist, and they have these encampments. The Mosswood encampment in North Oakland reaches its maximum population, and then it's periodically cleared again. It's just a wall of tents and a wide field covered by tents. However, the most often seen form is a van with jumper cables. That's amazing. So a lot of them have moved into vans that can be started and driven off before the tow trucks. Yeah, people are smart. And you're right, Ticketmaster absolutely rips everybody off. It's such a skank. And then people buy them, and it's just the other part of the equation I just have to mention is I know that everything across the board has gone up in cost. And I know a lot of people in New Jersey deify Bruce Springsteen, our neighbor here. And I just have to say this. Bruce has got a pile of money, and I think the prices that are being charged by scalpers and the prices even Bruce is charging himself. Nobody in my hometown can afford to go see Bruce except perhaps his friends and those who used to be in the band or his old pals he grew up with. But really, $1,000 a ticket. I just gotta say, it's just ridiculous. I mean, seriously, Tom Petty is the only star artist I know who ever really gave a shit about what people paid for their concert tickets. And he did it the old fashioned way by saying, sometimes in a store, for example, you run a loss leader. Now, I'm not saying Billy Joel or Bruce Springsteen aren't entitled to ask as much as they possibly can get. I'm pro capitalism all the way. But I also think when you're selling that whole trope that you're the man from the hometown and you care so much about the poor guys, Bruce hasn't been poor for 50 years. The guy's a multi-billionaire. And he's not in touch with the common guy anymore. I'm sorry. I mean, I, I don't expect him to give away his money, lots of it, but I do expect him to do what he can to keep ticket prices reasonable. And what I mean by that is, back when Tom Petty did it, lots of other bands started to follow suit and at least consider the fact that who is my audience? That's why the world's devolving, is because ordinary people can't do the regular things that they've always done because the rich people crowd them out. So add more shows, do a discount night. I'll tell you what to do. Every poor bastard in New Jersey who's on unemployment, have a night. If you're on unemployment, Bruce will take it. Instead of $1,000 a night, maybe he could drop it down to 500. 500 times 100,000 seats or whatever we have, 80,000. That's pretty good change. So if you think I'm right, speak up. If you think I'm full of crap, you can speak up about that too. We are waiting for Nick Clemons to be our guest this morning. Speaking of Bruce, I'll have to ask him what he thinks. I mean, I know he's family and all that. So here I am before my guest comes on, ragging on his dad's boss, former boss. To tell you something, Nick Clemens is a great guy. He's a friend of mine. I played with him, and we just like to hang and talk, music, whatever it is. And he's a hell of a guy. He's had a lot of, in spite of being Clarence's son, remember, having more money just makes people, um, they get to do things I can't do. And that's okay, because not everybody can afford the tickets. I get it. But I just think, again, if you're a guy who's of Bruce's stature, I think you could change the whole industry with both these phone calls. Call up Ticketmaster, call up your manager and say, can't we do something in every city for the unemployed, for example? Those are the people that paid the $20 tickets back in the 60s and excuse me, in the 70s starting. Now I know Bruce started here in Jersey in the 60s. I have many friends who saw him with Steel Mill. My next door neighbor used to be his manager. And there's a whole chapter devoted to Tinker, who lives next door. I've asked him to be on the show, and Tinker's just one of a kind. He may say yes one day, he may say no, but either way, he's one of a kind. He has the best St. Patty's Day party in Highlands history, and I always enjoy going. I played there a few times with a couple. Thinking Carl. Sorry, Carl, your name's eluding me. Your last name. I'm having a senior moment here. But yeah, Broadway ticket seats, $200 for a balcony seat. I mean, it's just it's tough. Um, But I guess it all depends on what your entertainment experience, the ultimate one is. Speaking of ultimate entertainment experiences, we have the Eagles are going to be starting a residency out in Vegas. So much for the When Hell Freezes Over tour is the last one. I'm not kidding you, folks. 20 years ago, the When Hell Freezes Over tour took place. I was working for Muzak. I was at a party at the guy who was design manager for Klipsch, and he had the most amazing house. He had a pool with a grotto that had a table in the middle, and then it had a bench that ran around the table right across from you. So the way he described the bench is he said, "You guys got to check out my swimming pool. It's even got a head bench." And I said, "A what bench?" Of course, my sinister mind started spinning, thinking, "What in God's name is he talking about?" Well, sure enough, I ended up in that grotto later in the evening, and there was seating. So I'm just going to leave it at that. The guy had a picture of his beautiful wife running across a black volcanic beach. She's a model, and boy, she's a model. I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyhow, as we were rolling through, he's taking us on the tour of his Grand Palazzo. This is in the neighborhood where oh, what's the guy, the golfer, Tiger? It's where Tiger Woods' wife battered him with a golf club. To finding out his 944 prostitute visits or whatever, right? I forget the exact number, but it's Tiger Woods. I mean, I just so glad I don't have that problem. Yeah, anyway. So it is 10:14. We're going to take a quick commercial break, really smooth and quick and quiet. And I'm going to tell you, this guy here, Carlton Wilkinson, I am working on music for him, and I got to give him a call back because we're ready to start tracking. I've got stuff set up, and he's an excellent musician. He's a professor of music, and he's just one hell of a cool guy. I recall how we met. He put out his CD last year, and as you see, he's been one of my advertisers since started on a new album, and we're working on a new track as we speak. So things are good and cool. And here is Carlton.
There's some changes headed like the Gulf Stream rising, like some gale that's been blowing off this wild bird island shore. And I can't say where, and I don't know when, but some old door's been opened in the restless shade. Poor man sagging cigarette takes the subway home. Rich man folding old regret steps on the run down below.
I'm Neil from Live with Neve. We have an exciting connection for our veterans, country music fans, and there is something for everyone. Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. That's right, we've partnered with Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. See you soon.
Like a melting flake of snow this year, I won't be sad to see it go.
Hi, I'm Darren F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neve.
I would have said it couldn't happen here.
They sentenced me to 20 years of boredom for trying to change the system from within.
That's right, Nancy Travis Photography. You can always get your good side. Nancy's the best.
Hey there, it's Kevin Sorbo here, and you lucky, lucky, lucky people, you are live. You're live with Neve or Neve or Neve. Neve. I don't know. I can't say the dude's name. Anyway, you're on live with him, so I don't know. I guess that's a pretty good thing.
All right, all right. How you doing, people? Glad you're here. Thank you, Kevin. So, what's going on, folks? What is important to you today? Hope IHOP chain with 1,700 locations suddenly closes for no good with no explanation. Holy crow! I'm going to tell you what did this. It, an IHOP restaurant has permanently shut down with no. Let's see. Is this? I'm sorry. I'm scanning this real quick. Posted in December 2023. What is this? Okay, we've got a bunch of Cracker Barrel, Mod Pizza, Frisch's Big Boy, which has been around forever, closed one in Covington, Kentucky, which you'd think would be an ideal market for them. Friendly's is closing Ron Concoma, Long Island, and Pizza Hut, a restaurant in Glen Falls. Denny's, two restaurants, Boise and Nampa, Idaho. Carl's Jr., the first Boise, Idaho location is closed. I have a feeling Idaho is just like a place that people move to and they're like, fuck, what did I do? Like crazy white supremacists running around and mountain people. God already knows. At any rate, that's not good, and I'll tell you what it is. And I know a lot of people out there who are very generous and think everything should be kumbaya and perfect all the time. Why do you guys think the number one reason these fast food restaurants, and I don't say COVID because that certainly had a part in it. I also really, it's so simple. What do you think is the reason why restaurants are closing all over the country? It's simple, two words, minimum wage, Pete. Restaurants run at very, very small profit margins. And I used to work for Muzak, so I know how small. I can tell you the ratios of what, for example, a Dunkin' franchise costs to a McDonald's, or what the price our company would charge them based on their income. People would say, I want music for this price. McDonald's gets it for that. You tell them, McDonald's got like 10,000 stores. You got, 40. Anyhow, um, it's closing because people can't afford to eat out. You go out and get a hamburger today, any decent place, you get a hamburger, it's $10 to $15, which is exceptionally ridiculous. You can't afford to pay minimum wages of $15 an hour to people who do not have the skill to earn $15 an hour any other way. I'm sorry. If you stay at McDonald's, work your way up to the manager, you'll end up making 200,000 or 300,000 a year if you're smart and know how to work. It's one of the best ways for a woman, single woman, to get ahead in the world. I've known a bunch. I've known several women who took that course of action in life and ended up doing very well. I know a sales lady from Florida who used to be one of those McDonald's managers, and she ended up being the best salesperson in Muzak for drive-in systems. You guys don't know perhaps, but in drive-ins, when you go get your fast food, they have a thing called a drive-in timer, which sits by the window. So the person who took your order is sitting there eyeballing it. Because if the food doesn't go out every 2 to 3 minutes, and there's a timer which they can slow up or speed up, because they make the bulk of their money during the lunchtime crush. So during lunch hour, they want to slam as many cars through that drive-in as they can. The owners love it. If people are passing food out to their friends, they'll find out. There's a lot of things that are positive about it. However, it's just a torture device. I mean, they pay these people terrible wages as it is. Now they're getting $15 an hour, and nobody really wants to work anymore. It's just the way it is. People are lazy as shit. I don't care what field you're in. If you tell me this, anybody out there who's watching, I see there's a few of you. Um, Tell me, have you noticed how lazy people are getting? I mean, and for all the ragging on people do about immigrants, well, the immigrants are busting their ass. They're working. They're not even getting $15 an hour because a lot of the illegals don't get paid that because they're illegal. That's a whole nother story. You cannot, okay, it's supply and demand, people. It's simple. You cannot import 10 million people when minimum wage is $15 an hour and give them all $15 an hour on a fucking $10 hamburger. You see what I'm getting at? So it's just not going to work. If you owned a restaurant, you'll go broke paying those wages. And I know everybody. Look, I've worked for minimum wage many times in my life. I was a young guy. I've done more jobs that I hated and quit. And it's sort of like a lot of the immigrants. The smartest people leave shitty places. They go to a good place. There's lots of people who live all over South America who are fine people, but we don't invite them all here. We just don't need them all. We can't feed the people we have. And as a result, now they've devalued the value of people who live here because they hired people who will work for far less money. There's always going to be rich and poor people. I got to tell you, it's not going to go away. It's been that way since history. And as I've said before, you never see a poor guy give another guy a job. You never see some broke bastard who's going to be able to put a company together with all the paperwork and things. Our country has a horrible business climate. Hence, why do you think, and I know what I'm talking about, why do you think all the multinational corporations are multinational corporations? They're not here. They're not here because it's too expensive for them to make a profit, actually, to make obscene profits. That's just the way it goes. So, Florida, my friends down there, all of you, it is a very, very rainy, crazy ass weather down there. I hope everybody's safe and we don't have any crazy tornado bullshit or any of that stuff. We are listening to the Live with Neve show. There's an article here about why pop music is so now. Um, I was supposed to have our guest by now, so I'm going to take a quick pause here. I'm just going to check and see where. our pal is. Maybe he's been held up. Hold on. Uh, can we do this? Yes, we can. Yes. See you then. Okay, peeps. Uh, Nick will be here at 10:45 sharp, so you've only got to listen to me for a few more minutes, and that's a good thing. Uh, hey, man, what's happening? I see you there, buddy. How you doing? It's Bob Garafa, man. How you doing, pal? Bob, for if any of you guys don't know who he is, he's a good friend of mine, and he's put out a killer album. It's excellent. One of the best self-produced records I've heard in a while. The guy's a rocker, and he kicks ass. He's a hard-working guy, as everybody is here in Jersey. If you're not working hard, you're not eating, you're not breathing, you're not doing anything. Uh, so the reason pop music is so blah is as more music is produced, everything audiences shrink as opposed to grow larger because of it's because everything is so categorized so tightly now. Americana, country, country funk, whatever that crap they put out. Everybody's going how great it is. I think it's Beyonce did a country record. I don't even care. It's so bad, and it's just like I don't know. I know people who do far better records. I can think of a couple come to mind. Several of them are ISA people. Um, I don't know what to tell you, but we do know that Nick will be with us soon. And that is always a good thing. I'm taking a quick peek here. Just one more check. Uh, Nick will be here at 10:45. Uh, let me take that. I got to make sure he gets that message. See you then. All right. Let's see. See you then. Well, I like that. That means you only have to listen to me banter for another 15 minutes, which I know most of you are probably ready to take a sharp object and cut out your ears. But that's why we make the big bucks here, right? Millions upon millions for one or two people to come stop by. So, all the illegal cannabis things, if you're worried about that in California, elect better people, hire better chemists, do all that good stuff. And Putin's issued a he said that he would offer a surrender type thing if the Ukrainians give back the four fought over territories of Ukraine that they claim. I always wonder, this is a simple thing, my brain works in weird ways. Why is it that when they talk about Ukraine, they call it the Ukraine? It's like the Mohammedans calling the prophet Muhammad. He's not my prophet, so fuck, what do I call him the? He didn't get a title. I don't know. Any rate, if anybody can answer that to me, that's a question that's just in my head. How about this story, guys? A man plans to sue Apple after deleted message reveal he cheated. A man is preparing to sue Apple for more than 500 million after deleted message he sent to sex workers was discovered by his wife. The unfaithful husband claims that Apple's lack of transparency over deleted messages has led to his wife filing for divorce. Richard, not his real name, is reportedly a middle-aged man from England and revealed to the Times that he had turned to sex workers in the final years of his marriage. He would contact them via the messages app on his iPhone before deleting the incriminating text. However, when his wife went on the family Mac, the messages popped up several years later, despite him having believed he deleted them. She correctly filed divorce from him in a month. Who knows? Maybe they have a thing. Maybe they have an arrangement. You never know what people do. Um, any rate, she said, it's awful, quite painful, and quite raw. It was a very brutal way of finding out for my wife. My thoughts are if I had been able to talk to her rationally, she might not have had such a brutal realization of it, and I might still be married. Well, you said you'd been happily married for 20 years, and he's out pooning around. He said, this guy's really fucked, man. He lost $5 million, and he's suing Apple for it, as if they pulled his pants down and stuck it in her mouth. I don't know, people. It's kind of people crazy. And another terrible news, it looks like the manatees are not doing very well down in Florida. Another missing, animal we will not get the joy of seeing. Unfortunately, people keep running them over with boats, and I don't know if anybody's stupid enough to try and hit them. One of the greatest days of my life was taking my children to the beach down in Daytona, I believe, decades ago, maybe Cocoa Beach. Now I think about it. And we went to the beach, and there were manatees in the water, and it was really pretty awesome. We got in the water, and for some reason my feet must have had a ridiculous odor because this manatee came over, and I don't know if you know what they look like. It's like a big walrus type thing with no tusks, and they have bristles on their face. Well, these things came up and started snorkeling my feet with their whiskers, and I almost crapped myself. I was like, "Oh my God, what is this thing?" Yeah. Anyhow, the story gets weird. While we were out there, there was a lot of people who would come out at a certain time of day, like us with our kids, to observe the manatees frolicking in the surf. They used to think that the manatee was responsible for mermaid sightings. That would only be if Calvin Klein underwear models were doing the commercial, because a manatee does not look like uh, a mermaid or a woman in any way, unless it's an extremely fat, big old Russian babushka who's, you know, 800 pounds, hairy chin, hasn't bathed since the anniversary of World War II in 1960. So times were hard. Anyhow, enough about that. Let's see. Flight from London to US turns back with all passengers on board for 9 hours in the air. God almighty, does that sound like the most miserable place you could possibly be? Is stuck on an airplane for 9 hours with screaming, sweating people. And then you get off and you're back where you started? Ay, ay, ay. Let's see what we got here. Wow, the Supreme Court has overturned a Trump era ban on bump stocks, a semi automatic weapon attachment enacted after a mass shooting in Las Vegas. Hmm. Now that is weird stuff. In fact, ask yourself, how long ago was this? Let's see. Read more. Okay, let's see. It was in 2017. That's back, I guess, when the shooting in Las Vegas occurred, which is it's just horrifying. Some lunatic was up on top of this was Caesars or one of the I can't remember which hotel it was at, but there was a country music festival going, and there's all kinds of reports of multiple gunmen and a lot of weird unanswered questions. They still haven't really released a report. They claim that this one guy up in the hotel was just shooting all these people. What doesn't make sense and doesn't really pass the sniff test from what I've read about it and seen is it just appears there's too many people who saw people shooting from other directions. And call me stupid, but I guarantee if you got somebody shooting at you, you're going to know where it's coming from, unless, especially if you see muzzle flashes. I mean, you know, in the dark, guns go off, you'll see a flash, and next thing you know, you'll be dead. Um, Very scary. The whole case, there's something shady about it, and I don't know what it is, but it's uh, it's there. So hopefully they'll investigate it, and one day we'll kind of find out what kind of lunatic went nuts and did that. Let's see. Um, I don't really see anything really super exciting here. It's all like bullshit. Bezos has the vision to colonize space with 1 trillion people. Hmm, cool. How many of you folks would take it? I'd consider it. I would, absolutely. I've got about 40 years left if I live well, and that's something I'd have to consider. See if any of my friends want to go to Mars or the moon base or whatever. When I look through the press, I like to look at both what the right and the left are complaining about, because a lot of times um, both parties, I should say, do a lot of stupid things. Hmm. Let's see if there's anything here in the HuffPost. REM reunited at the Songwriters Hall of Fame, which is really cool. My friend Paul's been a member of that for decades. Um, Paul's ill at the moment. So, Paul, I hope you're feeling better, and we love you. Uh, so yes, REM reunited at the Songwriters Hall of Fame event last night, and it's been 17 years since they played. They played in 2004, and at that time, that was the no 2007, excuse me, it was the last time. And Michael Stipe said, "This is the last time." Um, you know, let's see what it says. Oh, Sean Parent apparently snuff smokes at the White House with help from Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, a bunch of clowns. Politics is Hollywood for ugly people, and they never fail to amuse me or outrage me. There was a there was seismic activity in Edinburgh on Taylor Swift's tour. So not only now is she making shit piles of money, she's causing earthquakes. Or oh no, actually stopping them. Apparently, the Swift show led to especially noticeable seismic activity at the pop superstars shows in Scotland. Okay, Taylor, like three sheep dropped off backstage for the sound man. God only knows what they're doing over there. I hope you take good care of your people, Taylor. Really do. So we're going to be going to a break soon. In about 10 minutes, we're going to have Nick Clemons will be joining us. See if I have any more messages from Nick here. Um, hmm, is- yes, see you there. It's today at 6. Man, people have, we all have such complicated lives. That's all I can tell you. You got kids, you've got to go run them here and run them there. Let's see. Boy, that's some crazy stuff. I've got these new headphones on. I'm gonna try switching. There you go. I have a very large ear. It's getting squashed. The best anti-theft bags to carry while traveling. I'd like to think that's a Kimber 45 tucked in a compact holster in the backside here where nobody sees it. That would be better than an anti-theft bag. Here, give me your bag. Yeah, okay. What can I tell you, man? Lock and load, people. We got crazy folks running around. And let's see. Some crazy guy sent a threat to slaughter the FBI agent who investigated Hunter Biden's laptop. Another well balanced individual. 8-year-old boy shot my father while protecting his mother from him. Can you fucking believe this stuff, people? Really? I mean, unbelievable. DNA from McDonald's cup linked to woman and husband's death. 4 years ago, girl thought she got away from it. Cassandra Holt's arrest. Oh, speaking about legal news, pardon me. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. Um, our co-host sometimes, the wonderful, um, I'm sorry, I'm having such a brain fart. The Detroit Madman has gotten his court case served on the state of Michigan. Um, our friend was put in jail for 22 years for a murder he did not commit. Think about that, peeps. If any of you haven't seen the show with Irish, I think it's the best show I've ever had. And if you're bored ever, go on YouTube and look up one of my shows from the first year. It's the first time we had Irish on. He'd just been released from prison after 23 years. We talked for about 2.5 hours, and I still think it was one of the most interesting shows I've ever done. It was unique. I didn't know what to get. I didn't even know how to approach him. Being just a rock and roll guy who talks a lot, I really didn't have any idea how I was going to interview him. I didn't want to piss him off or hurt his feelings or ask a number of things. Um, but we did, and Irish was a good guy. And he went to court yesterday, and the prosecutor gave him a hug and said, "Great job." The first time in 23 years anybody from the state of Michigan acknowledged how badly they screwed up. Uh, to give you the story, the inside scoop, uh, I may just go ahead and run the show one day and talk with the show and comment with it with Irish. I don't know if you guys can imagine if anybody has ever been in jail even for a minute. It's too long. Uh, I'm not ashamed to say I have gotten arrested for DUI once and had to spend a little time in there. Just about a week because I was out of state. I was on the road with a band, and I was doing what I liked to do in those days, which was party hard. And it caught up with me. I got to spend the week. And the following Friday, it was on a Sunday night, I got arrested. And I didn't get out till Friday when the band got there. And the band showed up with bail money and with the club owner. And the club's a place called Brillo's up in Georgia, up in God, I don't even know where it was. It was out in the boondocks, out by Buford and out past Lawrenceville and all that stuff. It was heading up towards Lake Lanier somewhere. Anyhow, uh, I was just riding too fast and I was partying Zevon style. And I ended up in jail with a bunch of crazy drywall guys. They're like, "Don't worry about it. You can come to Dallas with us. We're going down there with dry workers. We got a big brawl last night. You'll fit right in." I'm sitting there like freaking out. And I find out that in the state of Georgia, you cannot get a bail bond unless you own property there. So I was stuck for a while. And that night, the guy who owned the bar, Brillo, he's named Brillo because he had a big old head of red, flaming red hair, and it was kind of an afro. And he weighed about 300, about 300 pounds. He's not a big man height wise, but he's big enough that he could pick up the back of a pickup truck and hold it up while you're changing the tire, for Christ's sakes. Huge man. And all he said to me is, "You gonna make a show, right?" I said, "Yes, sir." And I went to my guitar player's house and got dressed and showered for the first time. I believe that if you're in such a predicament, you should crust up to make yourself more undesirable. I'm glad I keep up with him too, Sue. He's working really hard and he's doing a great job getting his life back together. I don't know about you people, but if you got put in jail for a murder you did not commit for 23 years and were brutalized for that time period, we've talked a lot. He went through frickin' hell, man. And there's no amount of money that makes it right. The police just did an incredibly horrible investigation. It turned out that his mother and her lover, another woman, killed his father and blamed him. I mean, I know people who hate their kids, but Jesus Christ, who frames their own child? It's just, it's beyond me what people do sometimes. And I know it is to a lot of you guys too. The crazy world out there, and people do all kinds of stupid shit all the time. It's 10:43. A couple of minutes. Hopefully, Nick will be with us. He had some business to take care of. And oh, does he? Uh, he mentioned something about that, but um, I'll have to talk to him some more today. I'm going to try and get him to come on the show today. We'll see what happens. I did speak to him yesterday. So, going through some of the news here, we've got a U.S. reporter. This is something I haven't heard much about, and perhaps you haven't either. Uh, U.S. reporter Evan Gershkovich faced trial in Russia on espionage charges. He's a Wall Street Journal who's been imprisoned in Moscow since March of 23, so almost a year and some months later. I don't know if he was or wasn't. It's not beyond the CIA to turn a journalist into a spy, but it's also could just be that Putin's just squeezing us because that's what they do, and we're squeezing him pretty hard. So if anybody thinks it's not going to happen, remember, people, we don't have friends in the world. We have interests. Everybody's got an interest. Think about it. We had an interest in beating Japan and Germany during World War II. Now we're friends with them. We got an interest in making sure Russia doesn't say take over Ukraine or take over all of Europe or whatever. I don't think they're going to be able to do that. Russia's, the one thing I'll say, first off, I've worked with a bunch of Russians, and they're great people, hardworking, they're diligent, they're smart. We have a lot more common. We fought with them in one World War II together. The truth is, the Russians won World War II in terms of manpower. I know that's everybody didn't get taught that version, but I'm not sucking up to the Russians. But the truth is, the number of people they lost far exceeds almost all of the Allies together. Um, but they're Russian and they have a strong history. They're very proud people. And Putin's a tough guy, man. He's not like this jellyfish we got walking around right now. No offense to the president, but he's just not there. Um, Unless they ramp him up with Adderall. I think it's almost abuse what they do to the guy, really. I mean, what can I say? Maybe when I'm 90, I'll get to run for president. What do you think about that, peeps? Vote with Neve. Oh, what do we got here? We got a radio station. All I need is a smart. Oh, sounds great. Sounds like a scam, though. People, when you're looking for a job, there are so many scams out there. Just keep an eye on your bucks, man. There is a lot of scams. We got hit with one. Um, and all I can tell you is there's all kinds of work online schemes there. One of them that is new and particularly diabolical is they will call you and actually, I'm going to have to run a break real quick. Hopefully, we'll be right back with Nick at Clemons, and I'll see you in just a minute. You're on Live with me. We'll be back at 4 today. We'll talk in a minute.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
We are the Stones of Atlantis, and you are tuned in to Live with Me.
I hear sounds outside of my headphones. All right, peeps. I'm going to hit up our friend. It looks like Nick's going to maybe have to bogue out. He hasn't said so yet, but I know he's super busy. And it's his girlfriend's son's graduation today at 6 o'clock. And he's trying to get her money to get a hall and all that. Don't worry, though. We will have Nick back. I talk to him all the time, and he's got lots of great stuff we're going to talk about. And I'll just tell you, it's all really good news. So, since he's not here, I'm going to play him. He's playing with a guy who had a show that I should have. Artie Lang, gotta love him. Artie, I love you, man, but your show was awful. It's almost as bad as mine. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cue up Nick's band playing with Artie. Let's see, where is it? Okay, how do I find this thing? Ah, all right. That's not it. Let's go here, present, and we want to share our screen. Share. All right. This is my friend's band. This is the Nick Clemons band. When he first iteration of the band. This is about 10 years old. But that was when Artie still had a liver, and I did. Well, I didn't. Mine was in the same shape as his. Any rate, here we are. We have Nick Clemons live.
Seems to feel the air that will breathe. Don't you worry, my sweet child. Put away your sympathy. Think you got yourself a bad case now. And nothing hurts you more than your heart sacrifice. Can you feel it? I am. Some fall from the sky with no grace, take time to criticize all my vision. But the fuel that I desire is I run with their greed. That's the young silver and all the victims that I see. Oh, it's a mess situation. Oh, it's a mess. situation. Let me tell you, oh, it's a bad situation. Put my trouble away, put my trouble mind. But that's as good as it gets. Beware of dreamers and all their times of betrayal. And may lead you astray. And may open up your mind. But if the fool loses his way, listen around to what you've heard. Oh, it's a mad situation. Let me tell you, oh, it's a mad situation. Let me tell you, oh, yeah, it's a mad situation. Oh, it's a bad man. It's a man. It's a man. But can you hear St. Peter calling? Lord knows you can run it high. You better have your house in order. Not live your shoes around. Not live your shoes around. You got to get a little, you got to get up. Ain't about just making that money. Not you survive. You got to get it. I'm talking my love now. Cause your life is so much more. You got to get it now. Cause your life is so much more. You got to. Cause your life is so much more. You got to. Thank you.
Yeah! Nick Clemons back.
How about it, peeps? As Nick a long time ago, he's hanging here in the green room. He's wondering where the hell can I get myself a glass of water in the green room? There's nothing in there. It's lame. I even got a box of crackers. He's a big guy, man. You got to keep some food in the green room. But he's sitting there going, what in the hell? So without any further abuse, here we go, Mr. Nick Clemens. Hey, buddy.
How you doing? Can you guys hear me?
I hear you great.
Hey, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing?
Ah, beautiful day like the weather the past couple of days. I'm loving life.
So
You're up in Perth Amboy, right?
I'm right by the bridge. I'm right on the harbor, right by the
That's what I thought.
keep down here. I'm
Nice,
right, great scenery. I'm right by the armory. It's a beautiful
nice.
here on the water. The city did it really good.
Yeah, I've seen some of your pictures. It's great, man, living in the Jersey Shore area, isn't it? I just love it here.
And the city's got the best of everything. A lot of Latin culture, a lot of food. Uh,
Right,
Mexican, Japanese, Puerto Rican, Dominican, everything.
right.
New Orleans and Port Amboy. The world should come check it out.
All the food I love to eat, man. I grew up in Tampa, or I spent a lot of time in Tampa. Grew up in New Jersey, but I love the food. All the Latin cultures that bring excellent stuff to eat.
And we
It's
love.
it's funny how a lot of people think of Mexican food sometimes as just tacos and burritos and stuff. But
Yeah,
Mexico is such a diverse country. There's so many different styles of it that you can go to a lot of different restaurants. I mean, you've been around and
Latin
such good stuff.
Latin culture is diverse. It's not just Mexico. You got Puerto Rico. You got all
Right. And they all have that special touch to their food.
got their. Again, it's I'm here observing. I'm just here enjoying and admiring the culture. I can't speak.
Absolutely.
It's a
Uh,
lot,
I,
and it diverges a lot of cultures, a lot of people, a lot of races in that Latin community, and
yeah, I don't like that stuff, man.
definitely enjoy how they represent it though.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Um, Well, so tell me, you got so much stuff going on. We haven't talked in a while, and so tell us what's going on with the brewery and the band and all this good stuff happening.
Doing a partnership with the announcer here. We're doing a partnership with 902 Brewery. Good friends,
Hmm.
Don Wood. We originally started with them years ago. Uh,
Right.
a lot of my adversity, at least the adversity I dealt with in doing business and dealing with partners and competitors within my own family, you deal with those kind of issues, and looks like we've won. My key is just I want to do business that's going to support my whole community, not just a couple of people, the 1% gets per se. It's got to be a thing that's going to be a chain reaction where there's actually a trickle down effect, as they quote unquote say. Um,
Sure.
you got to have your hand on the wheel to make sure that thing trickles down. You can't give it to
Right.
do that. Sometimes people,
Oh, hey Nick.
good guys, Jim Leopold calling us. Um, we are trying to make sure we take this business to the next level. And we have a licensing company called Big Man's West for use. And we also have a
Right.
route right now, but we're also doing venturing to edibles with some great consultants, great partners. One of my consultants and friends is New Jersey Weedman. It's one of my good friends. He's helped me focus on what we want to do as far as
Hmm.
retain. Some great companies we work with, young guys that are doing business, kind of like About Nugs, we're really doing business with. A lot of
Hmm.
guys that know what to do, that had
Sure.
had the bumps and bruises. Um,
Hmm.
Out into the media game with Big Man's Media, which we launched today. You know,
Right.
Facebook, please, like us and join our follow us. We're doing a lot of productions with a couple of major figures that are going to be
Hmm.
major productions. Major
Great.
producers have joined our team. Guys like Jeff Mazzola, Eric Metzger.
Hmm.
We've got some great directors we're working with closely, like Lloyd Levin's guy we're working with right now. I mean, Danny Bilson's fathers, guys really helped us. Mo Lasprinoso guy did Lori and Rock on our team. Then we had the business side of guys like Marcus Barth, the guy who worked at Deutsche Bank, was on TV every day for years,
Hmm.
coming on to help us out. He's running Big Man's West, Big Man's Brew International, and we had guys like John Krieger, a guy from Price Waterhouse, years senior consultant,
Great.
helping us out. I will never let.
Excellent.
Again, this is going to be my story is going to be in my book coming out soon. Uh,
Hmm.
it's about really much how as a black people sometimes in business we lose faith in ourselves. We lose faith as we try to send that ladder, and we lose faith in our own. And I had to battle with people losing faith in my ability just because of the color of my skin. No matter how smart you are,
Yeah, that's such a mess. That really is tough. I can only empathize because I don't have to experience that, you know.
you'll have to work twice as hard. And then again, there's prejudices if you're like trying to be multitasking. You got a lot of ideas. Like I've had to put ghost figures and ghost people in front of my writing uh, projects because a lot of volume. People get scared off, man. They like, oh, you can't
Right.
do this, and then I've had to like worry about business because as a musician, as a
Hmm.
plays a banjo or plays anything, we don't
Right.
expect in business when you try to pitch ideas. They look at you
Yep.
as, oh, he's just you want to be. I mean, that's not, and sometimes it puts you at a disadvantage.
Just the sheer number of songs that you've written over the years, you're always at it, and I respect that because I know it's hard. You got to make it a habit. You got to get up every day and put in the time. It's like everybody wants to be in a band until it's time to do band shit.
Yeah.
Rehearsal, like play it 10 times until you really get it nailed, so that it's second nature. And it's hard to find good people in any craft because there's a lot of BS out there.
But you can't be bashful too, man. You can't be afraid of your own skin. I mean, if you got
No.
something to get out, don't let anybody tell you no.
You have to fight for yourself, man. Nobody will do it. And if you can't present yourself and your ideas, you're not going to get anywhere because you got your own best witness, essentially.
Invest in yourself. You can't be afraid to speak out. You can't afraid to put those positions out there because, again, you can't be afraid to be naked out there in this business. You
No,
got to be able to
we've
take.
only got limited time, and we have to take advantage of it. It's the most precious thing we've got. And I know things I've been through.
I always tell when guys of mine were stage fright, I said, "Can you take your clothes off and walk around the building? You can do that. And if you can do that, you can do anything."
You are kidding. I mean, anything that you really dream of, if you've got the mojo, you'll make it happen, or you'll put yourself in the right position to make it happen. But you won't give up. I mean, I'm a good example. I'm just an old guy, man, and I still play music, and I'll do it till I die. I don't know what else to do with myself except talk to musicians and hang out, and you know, what else am I gonna do? I'm probably inhirable. Any other career?
Go get it. You got to go get it. If you don't go get it, you're not gonna get it. That's the point.
So true.
I'm gonna prepare, and so I'm gonna prepare with everything, and so ready. Like any material, like I put a lot of material out there. I do it because it's self-publishing, like I don't got time to save all that material. I put out a lot of stuff, so people see
Right.
I like ideas, and if I could save an idea and put it out there in a song, I'm gonna put it out.
Mhm.
Bash will say, "Oh, this is might be not this, not the stuff. This is not what That's, of course, it's art. You have to.
If you don't produce it and keep producing it, it's
Yeah,
not going to happen. And it's just not, you're not doing the time you got to do. I mean, even writing good songs, everybody thinks they're great. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. We all think we're smarter than we are, but in general, if you self-actualize, you know where you're at. Look at people smarter than you, and they'll drag you along. Just if you have that instinct to listen to someone and learn. I mean, I meet people way smarter than me all the time, and I just know it's time to listen because they have information that people like us need. I mean, like you have a great team of people working with you, all have a specialty. And
yeah.
that's what, I mean, it's impossible for any one man to do everything required to run a business of three or four. I mean, you can have a business, but you're not going to be making any money if you don't have any people to help you make it. But that's my opinion. And I don't know. I'm just an old school guy. If I shake hands with somebody and say I'm going to do something, they'll get what I say I'm going to do. And
We
keeping your word.
make sure that we want people to open their minds up, and we want to attract talent. Well, for
Hmm.
Big Men's West, we have a vehicle that can really help our community put a lot of jobs on the table in the next couple of years. That's
Right.
what
Hmm.
not just New Jersey, but Florida and Colorado and Pennsylvania, and
Excellent.
to expand our markets. I always tell people if you're
You
looking at
know, if you ever need a guy to go down and open up Florida for you, I'm the guy. I
working
know
with
all the clubs. We put big bands in every freaking bar, and Florida's got a lot of them. It's a great territory for you.
Brewery,
Yeah.
we're set. I think we're set with that. We're working with Dave Matthews Brewing. It's not Dave Matthews, the singer, but they're in Fort Lake Pierce, I think, Fort Lake Worth. Fort
Okay.
Brewing. Go check them out. Great bands, great beer. They're
Excellent.
down in Florida, and we're going to be working with Scott Resner down in Vail, Colorado. We'll be putting our
Hmm.
feet for great bands out there. My father was almost an honorary dead member quite a few years.
Right.
We want to thank Scott,
Excellent.
Alex out there for helping us get some distribution deals out there. That's what we're working on now, and
Excellent.
going great right now. And yeah,
That's I love hearing great news, man. You've been working your ass off since I first met you. It's been 3 or 4 years now, I think, and you know I'm really proud to see you kicking ass because I like seeing people win, man. It's
trying our best, and always you got to look forward, not backwards sometimes, and but you always
sure.
always remember who did the what, and I don't forget, and I learn my lessons.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I know you have a busy day today. You've got graduation and all that good stuff. I'm sure your girlfriend's just excited and life is good.
Yeah, I think
So
it's great,
you
but
know,
every time they
uh
advance, they're props, man. Plus it's summertime. They want the kids to the party, I think. So it
I
should be
hear you, man. Well, listen, have a great day and a weekend, and let's talk soon. I'll give you a shout next week just to talk other topics.
again, Big Man's Brew. Hit us up 732-430-6081. If you want to call us up and get some investment advice, let us know. We have packages available if you want to get in. Let us
You
know.
hear that, people? It's 732.
430-6081, Big Man Brew. And again, you can make your orders for all New Jersey. If you want to make your orders July 1st, which we're releasing soon, July 1st, 2024.
All
Thank
right, man. Well, listen. Everybody, get yourself some Big Man's Brew and check out Nick Clemons, his music. And he's got a book coming out. So when that comes out, we'll be here to tell you about it. And everybody, have a great weekend. I will be back on at 4 o'clock. I have an award-nominated It's a Singer today, who I'm going to be putting up a spot. I apologize, but I don't have the list of who's on today right at the moment. I'm going to be doing the ads in 10 minutes. And in about 10 minutes, you'll see ads for this afternoon's show. So everybody, kick it out. Have a great day. Come back at 4 o'clock. We're going to have some great stuff. And thanks for watching more than anything. We appreciate it.
Hello there, my name is Andreas Hellqvist, this is Daniel Olsson, and we're live with Neve. And